Hey there. So, welcome to the actual first episode of this series in building a blog application using Laravel. In today's episode, we are going to be talking a little bit about what Laravel is. So, Laravel is a PHP framework, okay, for creating a progressive and also expressive um, web application. So, it's so when we talk about a framework, okay, so a framework is an application built on top of the programming language such as PHP. So Laravel has a top layer of applications that handles all the basic and procedural programming for you. So in the sense, some things that you have to do right from the scratch has been already done for you in Laravel. So you have to work your way around it and build on top of it. Yeah. So once we get familiar with Laravel, you'll be using some couple of packages like this that we have here. Okay. So you'll be using the cashier for payment or billing. Okay. Tinker for accessing uh, the shell or to write a command directly, okay, when working with databases, for example, passport for your OAuth authentication, and a couple more. So Mix here for handling the SAS, that's your CSS, SAS, and also whether you want to use Vue.js or React.js. So there is a couple more to it. So once we dive deep into Laravel, okay, you'll be learning about all these built-in application like Socialite, Laravel Socialite, to how to connect your application to either Facebook or sign in using Facebook or Google. So you'll be having all that. So yeah, so basically that's it. So and before you can proceed or continue with this series, you should have in mind that you should be a little bit comfortable with writing the basic Laravel, the basic PHP, and also having a little understanding on object oriented. Okay, so you should know how to write the procedural programming and also how to work with object oriented programming. So you should have a little understanding about class, objects, okay, and constructors, and so on and so forth. So I'll be leaving a couple of videos at the description. You can click on it to watch the videos on how to work your way around them. So we can go to the documentation by clicking on the documentation, and we are going to have all that we need. So this documentation is well done, and it gives us the basic understanding or what we need to know about the entire Laravel framework. So here we can have the version that you wish to go for. But in this series, I'll be using the latest version. That's the 7. So without wasting much of your time, we'll be going inside the documentation once we are working along on the project. So when we get stuck, we will go to the documentation to find answers from there and also do some search online. Okay, so what we have to do next is to install our Laravel application. So you should have your web server installed. So I'm using XAMPP for this project. So you can use WAMP, or there are a couple more out there that you can use. But in this tutorial, I'll be using XAMPP. So what we can do is to first install your XAMPP, okay, and locate your htdocs. So when you install your XAMPP, you are going to find it in your drive C, navigate into it, and also go inside your htdocs. So here is where you'll be creating all your Laravel projects. Okay, so I've opened mine in the terminal using I'm using Git. So this is the Git terminal, or the Git bash terminal. So this is what I'm using. So you can type in your CMD, hit enter, and you're going to have this to work with. Okay, but I feel more comfortable with this because I'm always able to use some of the Linux commands. All right, so we can see we are inside our htdocs here. So we can simply install a Laravel project Okay, by and also you have to bear in mind that you also need composer. You also need composer. So what is composer? So composer is nothing more but just a dependency manager for PHP. So this composer helps you bring in all your packages that you need to work with the framework. Okay, so what you can simply do is just download composer, okay, and install it on your application. So you can download the exe file from here, the executable file from here, okay. Then you can just bring in you can start using it. So it's that simple. So you can just download this and install from here. Okay, so I've already installed mine. So let's move on with this. So we are going to have here composer, and we're going to create a project, okay, and it's a Laravel project. So you're going to have Laravel slash Laravel and the name of your project. So in this project, let's simply call it uh, YouTube blog, okay. So let's call it YouTube blog. So you can give it any name that you wish for and hit enter. So it is going to take some time to install our Laravel project. So I'm going to pause the video and make sure I resume the video once the installation is done so I don't waste much of your time. So I'll see you after the installation. So our project is completely downloaded, or we have installed our Laravel project successfully. So we can quickly change by doing cd change directory into YouTube blog. Okay. Then now to test to see if everything is working, we simply have to do php artisan serve like this. Okay. So this is serving on localhost port 8000. So let's just run it here to see if it's running. So congratulations, we have our Laravel project installed successfully. Okay, so now instead of doing this every time, okay, what we can simply do is we have to create a domain for our project. Then if you haven't done that, you can click on the icon above it, or you can look at the description and click on it to watch my tutorial on that. So since I've already taught that, okay, which means I'm going to be quick on that. So you can click on my video to watch it. So you have to run Notepad as administrator. Okay. Then we have to open this. So we navigate to localhost XAMPP Apache Conf and Extra. Then we look for virtual host HTTPD dash virtual host. Then we have to bring in this a new one. Then what was our name? So we called it YouTube blog. Now the trick here is Laravel has its root or index file pointed to, so we can see here pointed to, let's just close here. Then let's do ls to show all the files. So let's see the inside public. Okay, then let's do ls. So here we can see there is the index.php file, which means this is the first file that the Laravel application looks for. That begins the routing of your entire application. So meaning we have to add this, the public directory. So this, so that this becomes our root, okay, file. Now let's call it YouTube. That's the domain that we show. So youtubeblog.com like this. And let's save our file. And now let's open again. This time we won't go into the exam, but we'll go inside our Windows. Let's look for system32. Okay, let's look for drivers. We're looking for HTC, etc. Then we show all files here and look for hosts. Okay, So now inside our host, this is where we can type in our local IP address or local host IP address. So 127.0.0.1. Then the name, the domain name that we give. So we gave it youtubeblog.com like this. Then now we can save it. Okay. So once you are done with it, then it's going to work fine. So if you've already started your Apache, you can restart it by clicking on stop and start. And if you haven't, you can simply click on start. Okay, like this. Then once it's been started, we can simply now do youtubeblog.com and hit enter. And we are going to see our Laravel project showing. So this means we've been able to configure it successfully. So that's it for this episode. And in the next episode, we'll be going through the structure of the Laravel project and start with our UI design of our application. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.